comes to race 5 highlights from 61 Kartway. Exciting and hot race number 5 led to some awesome racing. Here was the results in the battles in heat number 1. It was Nick Ockenfeld getting out to the lead early. Joseph Rapp losing a bunch of time there, and there goes Gage Kemp. He got hit from behind number 26 and Joseph Rapp here on the start, and that's why he lost all that ground at the beginning. And then he tried to make a move on Max Geitzenauer for the third spot, and they got turned coming out of the corner, and it was almost big as Morgan Schuler behind was also turned. Track was nearly blocked, and that kind of carved the way for Chad Peppers to get through. Later, Joseph would get by Max as he made a mistake in turn 1, and the battle would be up front for the lead of this race as Gage Kemp would be hunting down Nick Oakenfeld for the lead. You see a slight bobble there, allowed him to close the gap, and then down into the moneymaker. Gage was able to get this done in a pretty reoccurring pattern this weekend of Gage being able to make this move, getting down to the corner. He gets the job done, and then later on in Heat 1, a red flag for contact between Max Geitzenauer, Nelson Jelinski, and Morgan Schuler. A hard couple of hits. Red flag had to be displayed, so this one ended on lap 7 of 10, and Gage Kemp would walk away the winner of the first heat of the day. So that sets up for an interesting heat number 2. Chad Peppers has worked his way all the way up to second in heat 1, and he'd start on pole for heat number 2. But you see here, it wasn't easy for him to get out in front as Carter Pease was able to steal the lead early. Got a lot of bumping going on there on the initial start. Joseph trying to get Morgan past Gage Kemp, but he wouldn't be able to do so. Then Peppers would eventually find his way back out in front, and everybody would be scrambling behind him to get track position for the feature. Carter Pease and Gage Kemp battling for position here. This into the moneymaker, and Kemp would take the second spot, but that would not be the end of it. As drivers tried to battle their way, Carter Pease would look to get the position back, but wouldn't be able to make the car quite stick the way he needed it to. 44 Kemp would have amazing drive off the corner, be able to hold him off, but then came the rough contact a little later in this heat race. We'll see it here from Joseph Rapp's on board, and what looks like maybe a blocking move initially from Gage Kemp puts Carter off into the grass, but then a closer look from Morgan Schuler's on board makes it look like maybe Gage didn't even know he was there. You see the bump crash here, and really only to the quarter panel. That one's up for you to decide at home, but Heat 2 winner Chad Peppers comes away with that win. Then it was on to the feature event, and boy, was it shaping up to be a good one. And of course, Erin Dunn making her first start in the 206 class here this weekend would also be joining the drivers out there in the feature. She also was out there in both heats. You see a good-sized field of drivers racing to the green flag for this one as the intensity builds up. So, on the start of the feature, 15 laps, here we go, and there was Gage Kemp getting a rocket start out in front early. Chad Peppers would fall in line in second, and then everybody else would fall in line behind him trying to make things happen. And there were probably about 6 or 7 karts that could have won this race. They were all racing together there at the beginning of this feature event. As you can see, Joseph Rapp on Morgan Schuler here. Here's another look at the start. You can see just how much guys were trying to maneuver around to gain spots and such. Going up through the S's, and a good healthy field of karts as they worked their way down into the garage corner. Nobody was really able to step out of line and make a move on the initial start of this feature event, but the battling would come later as Gage Kemp versus Chad Peppers would be the battle for the lead. And yes, Gage would try and cross him over, but look at the jockeying for position here. Morgan Schuler past Nick Ockenfeld. Joseph Rapp looking to take a peek. Both Gage Kemp and Chad Peppers racing at the top of the hill. Joseph looks to the inside of Nick, and everybody sorts it out as they get to the backside of the track. Then Chad Peppers would try and get Gage here. This was that battle we were just watching, but from Gage's point of view, you see how Gage drives it way down into the corner, trying to keep that spot. And this time he is unable to do so, coming out of the corner, and Chad Peppers would eventually begin to slowly check out, but not before Gage had one last run at him, going down into turn 1. And you see there just how tight it was, but he couldn't get the drive off the corner to clear the 18, and Peppers would eventually get back into the lead. Now, we go back on board with Joseph, and a mistake here would cost him several spots as Carter Keys would get by, and then Nelson Jelinski as well. So a mistake from the 26 of Joseph Rapp would end up costing him a shot at a win in the race. Then later on, a crash towards the back of the field. If you look at the bottom left of your screen, Max Geitzenauer and Aaron Dunn would get involved in another incident, and unfortunately that would be the third crash for Max this weekend. He crashed in both heats and would eventually crash out here in the future. A rough day for both drivers to end like that there. Then it was Joseph Rapp versus Nelson Jelinski. This for position further back in the field. Joseph trying to get by Nelson. He would try him on the high side here. They would race into this tight left-hander, and a little bit of contact on the exit of the corner would push Nelson out into the grass a little bit, and that would be the end of that. But then came the battle for second place. Gage Kemp, Morgan Schuler, Nick Oakenfels, and Carter Keys would battle it out here in the feature event. They were all over each other lap after lap after lap. Carter would eventually close the gap to those three drivers and have a say in it all as they continued the battle. Look at the jockeying for position as Morgan Schuler tries to get to the outside of Nick Oakenfels. They battle hard for several laps like this, all the way down to the wire of this feature event. And it produces some great racing and some great action shots for us to look at. Here you see Morgan trying to pass Gage Kemp. Kemp with an over-under move, and he would do this a lot today, doing that over-under move and out-braking people getting into this corner. Would really save him a lot of track position in spots. Then Nick Oakenfels would just work to the inside of Gage Kemp. And you see there just how close he was to clearing him. This actually allowed, all this battling actually allowed the 26 of Joseph Rapp to close in a little bit on those four drivers, but not nearly enough to contend with them. And you see there again, Nick and Morgan racing hard for spots. They were just all over each other throughout this race, trying to make it work. Another view from Gage Kemp's on board, and there you see Nick making the pass there, but once again, Gage would try to outbrake him getting into this corner and really get the position back there. It would be Chad Peppers taking the white flag, but still the battle for second was raging on as drivers are trying to work past the 44. There goes Nick to the inside again. Morgan Schuler looked to make it 3 wide for a second there, but couldn't quite get it done. And then some off in the grass action there as Nick got off and Morgan Schuler would get by, but then he'd make a move on Gage Kemp and try to get to the second spot. And he would look to hold on to that position until we came across for the checkered flag. We find Chad Peppers had taken the checkered flag, but the battle for second, Gage trying to hold off Morgan Schuler, and Schuler would just barely come up short in third. And then Carter Keys and Nick Oakenfels would round out the top 5. It was a fantastic day of racing at 61 Kartway, but it was Chad Peppers who eventually came up with the victory. I believe this is his 3rd victory of the year, and so he dominates the point standings right now as he takes his victory lap. Rounding out the tops, the running order, Joseph Rapp and Nelson Jelinski would finish 6th and 7th, and then Aaron Dunn and Max Geitzenauer would round out the field. The battle for second was just amazing, and we expect to see more great battles as this year continues on. But we'd like to give a special thanks to our sponsors for helping us out to put on this video, and we hope you check them out. Spearmac here in Davenport, and Jimmy's Pancake House in Bettendorf, and and you know, they always have great pancakes, and they give you free Hot Wheels cars to your kids if you go. K&K True Value Hardware, and finally QC Auto Service. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next time for Race 6 highlights.